My entire life changed course for the better because of one mindset shift I made in 8th grade. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I put myself in the position to receive opportunity after opportunity. This mindset shift has led me to making a few $1,000s on the side, has led me to getting a dream job of mine, and has led to me meeting really incredible people, really high status people, etc. So, in 8th grade, I wanted to be a YouTuber. A few years prior in my class, everyone started channels and we were all competing to see who could get the most subscribers. And once I started making videos, it was like something in me clicked and I just knew that this is what I wanted to do with my life. It kind of felt like a movie. So eventually, even though everybody else in my class quit, I kept going. From that point on, I ended up landing a little consistent freelance job in the summer and then getting paid to do things that weren't even in my expertise, then getting an internship, which led to a seasonally full-time job as a student in one of the biggest companies in my industry where I live. One opportunity led to another opportunity, led to another. This mindset shift that I went under to put myself in position for those opportunities was that everything in my life was going to become a vessel to get better at what I desired. From what I read and watched to what I committed myself to literally anything that made an impact on my life, I geared it towards getting better at YouTube. My school had this year-long project. Everybody in the school has to participate. Throughout the year, you have to spend a minimum of 24 hours creating something. And then, kind of like a science fair, everyone presents their project on one big special night at the end of the year, and parents can walk through and see stuff. And my school offered a photography elective. And so I chose for that year-long project, I was gonna do photography, I was gonna take the photography lesson, because in the end, it might help me make better videos. My photography teacher ended up being my mentor. He actually lended me this camera, which I still have and use. After taking photos and barely learning to edit them for a year, I presented my project on this big special night. All the parents were walking around and looking at people's projects, and this one guy comes up to me. Little did I know, meeting this guy would literally change the trajectory of my life. After we talked and he looked through my photos, we ended up keeping in touch because he owned this nonprofit summer camp and he was looking for someone to do videography. And so we ended up talking a little bit more, we went back and forth, and I thought about it. This could make me a better YouTuber. And so I agreed. From that point on, I worked in his summer camp, and then he ended up connecting me with other people who I ended up doing a little bit of freelance work, edited some commercials and stuff. And then this same guy ended up telling me about this incredible company that he thought I could flourish in and develop my photography and videography skills. I applied for an internship at this company, got in. At the end of the internship, they hired me part-time as a student. I then went to seasonally full-time, and I still work there today. But all of this happened because I wanted to be a better YouTuber. I watched this Kobe Bryant interview, and he was talking about how in his day-to-day in school, all he saw were opportunities to get better at basketball. If a subject in school could help him think more strategically, he was invested because that would make him a better player. Any free time would be used to shoot hoops. He said something along the lines of, when you're a hammer, all you see is nails. When you are looking for opportunity, all you end up seeing is opportunity. It's kind of crazy to think that just because I was hoping to get better at YouTube, that mindset of looking for every opportunity to do so changed my life permanently. Luck is when opportunity meets preparation. I'm sure you've heard this quote before. Not only if you are open to opportunity and looking for it, will you find it, but also if you are prepared for one when it comes your way, more will keep coming your way. I looked at every situation I had in life as a chance to get better at a hard skill or a soft skill that would make me a better YouTuber. And this is where you kind of get that motivation on tap feeling, because everything is an opportunity. I'm using Alex Hormozi's examples and definitions here. As far as I understand it, a hard skill is just one that's clearly definable, like video editing or lighting or mastering audio. A soft skill is something like being charismatic. The skill there is kind of hard to define. Most people think it's just something you're born with or it's just something you have, but just because it's hard to define doesn't mean that it's not a skill and therefore teachable. Soft skills are just buckets of smaller hard skills. Being charismatic is just a bucket of small skills like smiling and standing up when someone walks in the room, or giving them a firm handshake, or saying their name in conversation. But whether I had the opportunity to get better at a hard skill like lighting, or an opportunity to get better at something a little bit more tangential like public speaking, which might help me come across better in my videos, any opportunity that I could conceivably connect to the idea of getting better at YouTube, I took. This really highlights the key and fundamental mindset shift that is beyond anything that I've talked about in this video. You are in control of your life. You can cause success in your life. More of the good and less of the bad. More fulfillment and less suffering. Those who are lazy cope and leave their fate up to some indefinable and external source like karma or luck. If you in any way want to be successful at anything in life, you must first understand that you are able to be. You are able to change your life. You might be coping right now and listing a bunch of things that you can't control and blaming them, the government or the weather or where you were raised or your starting point in life, etc. Let me just grant you this. It's all true. You're right, all of it. Now what? You're gonna sit back all lazy because of all of these external things that you can't control and not reach your fullest potential and let yourself suffer the rest of your life? Alex Hormozi has one of the best quotes that I've ever heard. Other people have had it worse and done it better. If they can do it, so can you. This is called an internal locus of control. You need to believe and digest and ingrain the idea that change in your life comes exclusively from you. Even if it doesn't, there's no benefit to focusing on what is outside of your control. It's useless, it's a waste of time, and it will cause unnecessary suffering. This is the underpinning idea of the philosophy of Stoicism, which, to simplify, basically centers around the idea of only focusing on what you can control. This is such a powerful mindset. It's one that makes you unbeatable, and Kobe Bryant and all of the great people in history in any field used it. Okay, so now you've geared your mind for looking for opportunities. Because you believe you are actually capable of changing your life, you are in the driver's seat. But the issue with everything that I've said in this video so far is that it works. If you take the initiative to change your life and find opportunities, you will find them. You get to the point where you have to choose. You have to develop the skill of saying no. Just recently, someone reached out to me and asked for help on a project of his. He had just filmed a music video and he wanted me to color grade it. I can color grade decently. It wouldn't have taken that long. It would have probably paid a good chunk of change. And we were talking about it on the phone and emailing back and forth, and I almost committed to it, but then I didn't. I thought about it. I want to do YouTube. I am legitimately trying to be monetized by the time I graduate, which I am not on track to do at the moment. And so even though I could have made some decent money doing something relatively quick and easy, I said no, which ended up being the right decision, because if I would have said yes, I wouldn't have been able to get out a video for that week, and the other areas of my life that hold priority would have suffered. What you have to understand though, is that taking an opportunity like that before was the thing that got me to where I am. I was in a stage where I was saying yes to every opportunity because I had to. Don't get me wrong, they were all a blessing, but I had zero experience, and so any experience that I could gain was more than I had. It was a positive. But the tricky thing is that same type of thinking doesn't serve me for the rest of my life. Now I have a tiny bit of experience, a little bit more resources, and clarity on which goals I want to be my priority. Now I have to be able to choose to say no to certain opportunities so that I'm on track to achieve my actual goals, so that I stay in pursuit. A really common mistake that people make is they keep this beginner mindset for longer than they should. Even when they get to a position and they have the skills and the clarity to know what goals to be pursuing and what goals they want to pursue, they're still trying to do every opportunity that comes across the table. It would be like me wanting to do YouTube, but then also starting a drop shipping business, also starting a clothing brand, and then also joining the student council at my school, and then starting a new sport. At a certain point, not every opportunity is beneficial. You can only make substantive progress in something if you're focused on it. I know you might have already seen this graphic 1,000 times, but if you're out here trying to make progress on a bunch of things at once, you're not gonna make any progress on anything at all. You need to focus most of your efforts really on one thing, and that's when you'll start to see real gains. My friend Kenny has this analogy that he uses in his videos. Imagine you're trying to build a wall, but you decide that the best way to build a wall is to actually build 3 walls at once. You place 1 brick down for this wall, and then you run over there, and you place 1 brick down for that wall, and then you run over there, and you place 1 brick down for that wall, and you repeat, jumping from wall to wall to wall. But remember, Your goal was to build that one wall. Building 3 walls and having 3 walls sounds appealing, but obviously it's slowing you down from the thing that you actually wanted to accomplish. Meanwhile, I'm over here and I'm trying to build a wall, but instead of doing what you're doing, I am putting all of my time and effort onto this one wall. One brick, next brick, brick after brick, no time in between. Who's gonna finish the wall quicker? Obviously me. That's the danger of widening your focus too much when it comes to achieving goals. Again, the danger here is that in the beginning, you are and should be looking for every opportunity. That's the correct thing to be doing. Hypothetically, let's say you start from ground zero baseline. You have no experience, no skills, nothing. Any opportunity has a positive benefit for you. But after time, you build skills and you gain more clarity on the direction that you want to go in. You gain leverage in your decisions. At the beginning, all of your decisions had the same equal value because there was no outsized return that you could get on any one decision, i.e., every decision you make would be positive in some way. But now some decisions will make more of a difference than others. If you have clarity, some decisions will help keep you on the narrowest and straightest path towards your goals. If you have skills, some decisions will help get you there faster. But what that means is that ulterior choices won't always be the best decisions. Every choice you make now has a sacrifice. The sacrifice of what you could have had with the other choice, the other option. So your mindset has to shift. You have to hone in on one specific path. That's why you have to cultivate the skill of a well-timed no. The same mindset that initially creates endless opportunity in the beginning does work, but it's not the mindset that you should keep for the rest of your life. And all this mindset stuff is nice and all, and has genuinely changed the trajectory of my life, which is kind of a crazy thing to say. But it doesn't matter if you don't take action. I have taken so many opportunities to help me get better at YouTube, and it has shaped my life in a way. However, up until recently on this YouTube journey, I wasn't actually putting in the work on YouTube. I was doing what I described earlier for a short period where I was spreading my focus too thin. I also didn't have enough clarity on where I was going, and I would not let myself take the time to gain it. In reality, I was ignoring what I knew I should have been doing. So even though I've been blessed with some incredible opportunities that have helped me get better at the things that would make me better at YouTube, I haven't made nearly as much progress as I would have hoped. What that comes down to is taking action, frankly. You can have all of the opportunity in the world, but if you never exploit it and use it to its fullest advantage, it doesn't mean anything. You're not gonna get exceptional results. But like I said, recently I have been locking in. I am committed, not simply interested. Over the past year or so, I have experimented and played with different techniques and strategies to help me work harder and actually get more done, so that I could cultivate this opportunity spiral that I have in my life into something more, into something exceptional. I've come across a couple things that have helped me take more advantage of the opportunities in my life, but mainly be more productive about them. If you want not only for opportunities to open up for you, but primarily to skyrocket your productivity so you can take full advantage of them, click on this video here and see how I did that. But thank you for watching. I hope this video brought you value, and I will see you all in the next video.